when you have a really small amount, like when you start with 300, because you start with 300, correct?
I started with 500.
What was that thing that made you activate?
I think I got to a point 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago before I got into your group. I think about 3 weeks where I was looking to get into a group.
In a day, you made like 4K. Like, how was the feeling?
I lost the plot. I was speechless. I was doing what I was doing. Now I couldn't talk. I was stuttering.
Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well, and here we are for a new episode, okay, where we're gonna be talking about another member of Mind of Trading. And today we have Michael. So nice to meet you, Michael. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you.
So it's a very interesting story because Michael a few months ago had no necessarily a lot of experience in the trading space, and right now he managed to make over 9,000 British pounds from trading. So we're gonna go and talk about his story. So first, Michael, can you introduce yourself? Where are you from, and what were you doing before like start trading?
I'm obviously from the UK, and I've been into all sorts. I've been to IT, then I've just started doing my lorry license and trying to start a business, being an own operator. I found I needed to find a source of income that can, as a side hustle, that can bring that in fast so I can provide for a family, that I can pay for private medical because my partner needs a serious operation in the next 2 weeks, which she could possibly lose both her kidneys. So that money I was very skeptical of trading, as there's a lot of scammers out there that would give you funded accounts and see no profit from that, or there's certain situations where I did try and it was false signals. When I come across Switzy, I was sort of skeptical.
Yeah, obviously, like everyone is skeptical at the beginning.
Everyone's skeptical at the beginning. You think, do I try it, do I not? But at the end of the day, in life, if you don't take risks, you're not going to see the result of what you want to become in life.
Yeah.
Now, this for me, I then gave you a shot, seeing what your signals are about. I think the first trade was obviously XAU to US dollar. I sort of made a mistake because I was supposed to use a small lot size. Instead of a 0.1, I used a 0.2, and I was thinking, oh shit. And then it was going. It was like 2.5. I think it was like 2.5, 2.5K on my first trade. I was thinking, oh, okay, wow, okay. And I think it was last week, because I've been struggling to do just a couple of your trades and following your signals as a driver. I have to do long hours. So I think this week I didn't make anything because it was a struggle. Last week, I think I covered like 4K in one day.
In one day? Is that like your biggest trading day?
Yeah, that's my biggest trading day, yeah. Which is, when I seen that money, to be honest, I forgot what I was doing because I was pulled over in my truck, and I got a phone call from a boss saying, where are you? And I was thinking, oh shit, I'm supposed to be leaving about an hour ago, because I was just overwhelmed by that kind of figures. But, all the resources of what, this guy does provide, and updates in regards to the markets, of interest rates or anything like that, or what's up in the news. It's so handy because it gives you that reassurance of, okay, this guy does know what he's talking about. I mean, look at the lifestyle he's living at the minute. I mean, it's crazy sort of lifestyle, and that's the sort of lifestyle I'd like to aim to. Realistically, at this time period of moment, probably not. Maybe in near future.
In the future, for sure, bro. I mean, when I started my journey, nobody was also believing in me, and like people, especially, I'm pretty sure that if you shared your experience with your colleague at work or whatever, people maybe at the beginning laugh at you for like, oh, I want to start being a trader, and making money.
Yeah, 100%. And there's a few of my friends. So a good friend of mine, Dan, when I showed him the number, he's like, fuck off, no way. And I've sort of tried to steer him into your group, sort of thing like that. He's a bit skeptical, but I said, look, give it a go. Just give it a go. Just give it a shot. I recommend it to anybody if you're struggling. Like, I've struggled. I mean, I'll be honest, I've struggled with my mental health. Yeah, it's hard. I'm getting married next year. I've got to pay for that. We're looking at trying to buy a house, at some point. So I need a deposit for a mortgage, and I haven't got the most of money. And, things like family and stuff like that, it sometimes becomes too much, and you think you're working and working and working. I was doing long hours. I'm doing like 15-hour shifts, 4 days a week, 15 hours. It does get, and I'm like finishing at 1, 2 in the morning. And it's like, when I made a side hustle of 9.5 grand, so I've got about 10,000 in equity. I think that's literally, a third of the year of my yearly salary after tax. It is crazy. It's really crazy how quickly you can make this kind of money.
And just to get back, because you were talking about this trade where you made 4K. Like, how did you like feel at the moment when you literally see that, in a day you made like 4K? Like, how was the feeling?
I lost the plot. I was speechless. I was doing what I was doing. Now I couldn't talk. I was stuttering. crazy, man. It's just crazy. I haven't seen money like that quick just come just within. I think it was in. I timed it. It was in about 14 minutes. I've made someone's monthly salary, pretty much. 14 minutes. I've made someone's 2 months salary.
What's the real thing that literally, you know, because a lot of people, as you said, like if you take no risk, you are staying in your comfort zone and it will never pay off. What was like the click in your head that like, yo, I want to take the step to give it a try. I want to change my, like, what was that thing that made you activate it?
I think I got to a point 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago before I got into your group. I think it was about 3 weeks where I was looking to get into your group. So I think it was a time where I was waiting for. I was in obviously your main group, which you've got. I think you've got about 40,000 members in there, and it's just like showing what you do and da 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 da. And I was waiting for that time of period to get into your group. The only reason being I wanted to. What made me leap to that kind of risk of wanting to get into a group is I hit the lowest point in my life recently where I don't want to get into that, but yeah, it got really low for me as a person, and I've never done anything wrong or anything like that. I just wanted. I see the life that I want to live and the life that you can exceed to get. When I seen you got that kind of life, it's sort of like a motivation, sort of a click into your brain where you think, what are you doing? Step up, move, wake up, fucking do this with yourself. And it is a massive, for anyone out there that is skeptical, not sure about certain trades, or I'm not sure if this guy's to me, is this guy a scammer? Like he's probably got loads of dough just because of, you know, okay, he's just scamming people or this. There's a million people out there. You can sort of tell on social media who is a scammer and who is not. And judging by you, I thought I'll take a risk to this guy. So I followed you from the past, and I was for about a year ago actually, and I was still skeptical. But I think a couple of weeks ago, I've got nothing, and I just want to change myself into something, be something. Like for my family, I want to change myself for my mum and dad. My dad's been that stressed, he's nearly had a heart attack through work because he's just trying to work continuously. And he's doing quite well for himself, but it's a case of I want to chill his life out, make my life and my partner, you know, easier. That's sort of what made me sort of click.
That's honestly like super interesting, like how like you manage and look, you took the risk and now it's fucking paying off. And with those like 9,000 something, almost 10 grand, what do you want to do with that money? Do you want to like?
I want to keep that in there as an investment, just because I'd like to build that investment, because I can see where I can sort of potentially move that to grow something of myself. So like I said about my lorry business, I can get the clientele. I just need the funds to get a truck, get a trailer, get this, do that. I have the money for the mortgage. There's a house I've seen that I really want. I'm like 26 now, and I do want to move out and get my own property and be on that ladder and start living a life that I sort of want to live and have my own home. Children is what I really want. It really is hard at the minute, but with you at the moment, I'm doing quite well. Hopefully it stays really well, which I believe it will. Copying your trade, I just want to learn a bit more, you know, because now I'm getting to the hang of like the lot size or how to sign new supports, resistant lines and stuff like that. And I just think I need a bit more. I think I need to learn how to execute when the right time to execute onto a trade. That's what I need to sort of like learn, you know. I think when I take that next step, I think I will be at a point where I think, right, I feel a bit more comfortable, you know. So my sister, my brother-in-law, they want me to teach them how to start trading. I'm not at that level yet where I don't know how to trade yet, but you know, I will be.
Bro, that's sick, because basically you want to go from like making that money from trading to like then fund your business that you like.
I see a business opportunity. Well, I see several business opportunities that could fall into my favor, but it's, you know, you need that starting point, you need that bulk of money.
What would you say, because I don't want to take more of your time and your story is very interesting, what would you say to someone who's watching this and like hesitating to start trading or starting any businesses, you know, in life?
My advice is you have got one life. Give it a go. Anything is worth a shot. Everything is worth the risk. Whether it comes to, you know, buying a house, for example, it's worth taking that risk because you never know if it would work out or not. For example, have a go with the trading. Just have a go. Just even if you get into the group, he puts the signal in, use a small amount. Use 0.01 of a lot size. It might not be much, and you might probably make 10 to 15 pounds, but keep doing that. Do it for a couple of weeks, get the feel for it. And once you start seeing that, you know what, these are results, then you know this guy's the real deal.
Then Michael, like honestly, like I'm really impressed by your story, and I really hope that you're gonna be able, and I'm pretty confident that if you manage to make that money like very quick, because you managed to make over 9 grand very fast, we just need like to lower the risk, you know, because at the beginning it's very nice to take like a higher risk in order to build the capital.
Yeah.
now that we made this nice capital, we maybe gonna like lower the risk and try to make something more like more steady and less, because if you always risk a big portion of your capital, what's gonna happen is that you're gonna be stressed. You're gonna every time be thinking, oh, if that trade goes wrong, what's gonna happen? So it's all about a balance. So when you have a really small amount, like when you start with 300, because you start with 300, correct?
I started with 500. I started with 500.
Yeah. You turn 500 into 9 grand something, almost 10 grand. It's like 20x on your money. It's just insane. Now what we have to do is maybe lower the risk, but keep doing it, because it's not gonna be easy to also 20x those 10k into 200k, but it's gonna be possible for us to go from 20k to like 50k within the next couple of weeks. That's something we can like easily achieve together. So now the goal is to minimize the risk and just build the entire infrastructure for you in order to become like fully financially free, to be able to be like a full-time trader and even to fund your own business,
So probably use like a 0.1 of a lot or 0.2 of a lot, depending on what kind of trade I'm using, what kind of pairs you're using, if that's correct.
Exactly. And thank you, Michael. If you have anything else to add, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you giving us the time for this quick interview, and hopefully it's gonna motivate other people to take the lead, because as you said, life is short, and if you don't get out from your comfort zone, nothing gonna pay off.
Life is short, mate, and trust me, trust this geezer, man. This geezer knows his shit. This geezer knows his shit. And I tell you something, it's made me 9 grand in 2 weeks. Imagine what it can make you. If you've got a spare 20 grand and you want to chuck into it, you can use a bigger lot size, for example. Imagine what you can make with that. I'll use £500, 500 quid, and I'll just turn that into 9.5 grand. That's in a balance right now.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you so much, bro.